Example of an SAT math problem on literal equations, and it's a physics problem, which is always fun. The formula above gives distance d in meters. An object travels toward the ground in t seconds after it is released while accelerating at a rate a in meters per second from an initial speed toward the ground v naught in meters per second. Which of the following gives the value of a in terms of d v naught in t? So basically we want to rearrange this equation to solve for this a. It's always helpful to rewrite your equation. And now we're looking for this a. So let's start solving. We want to make sure we get a by itself. So I'll move this over. Equals 1/2 AT squared. Now we're going to do some cross multiplication. So you can either think about it multiplying both sides by 2, or you can cross multiply and move the 2 up. So we get 2d minus 2 v naught t equals AT squared. And now we're almost there. We're going to divide both sides by t squared. That'll cancel over here. One of these t's on this side will cancel, and we should get a final expression of 2d over t squared minus 2 v naught over t. And if we look at the answers, this is choice A. Alright, so now we'll move on to the SAT math section, statistics, where only basic statistics will appear on the exam. And the key 3 words are going to be mean, median, and mode. And just as a refresher, mean is an average. Median is the number that appears in the middle, directly in the middle of a number set. And mode, if you say the word mode, the one that occurs most frequently. Try an example problem on statistics. And as part of a fitness maintenance program, Jarrell participates in a weekly physical fitness test. The results of the test are graded on a scale of 1 to 10, inclusive. On the first 5 weeks, Jarrell completed the average, arithmetic mean, of his scores was 7.2. What is the least score Jarrell can earn on his 6 weekly tests and still be able to achieve an average of at least 8 for his first 10 scores? And this is a fill-in problem. And remember, this is a mean problem because we're talking about average, not because it is a lengthy fill-in. All right, so anytime we see the word mean, we want to start with our average formula. And the average is basically the sum of the numbers, in this case, over the number of weeks. And if we look at the average over the first 5 weeks, Jarrell has an average of 7.20. And this occurred over 5 weeks. So by cross multiplying, the sum of the first 5 weeks is 36. 7.2 times 5 is 36. Now this is an important piece of information because what he wants, again we're going to use the average formula, he wants an average of 8. And again, this is the sum of all scores. And in this program, there are 10 weeks, or we average first 10 scores. So again, by cross multiplying, 80 is going to be our number for the total sum. Now here's where we need to connect 80 and 36. That means on the other 5 weeks, Jarrell has to have an average or a total sum of 44. So over these next 5 weeks, he has to have scores that add up to 44. Now, what the question wants is the least score that he can have in his 6 weekly fitness test. Now we're on to the mean. So we don't know what his score is in the 6th week, but in order for him to have the lowest possible score, he has to score really well in the other weeks, and the maximum score he can get is a 10. So by combining that, we get an expression x plus 40 equals, jumped the gun, x plus 40 equals 44. We subtract 40 from both sides, and we should get that x equals 4. So this would be a fill-in, and we'd fill in 4. So in order for Jarrell to have an average of 8, he must score a perfect 10 in the other 4 weeks, and the lowest possible score he can have in the 6th week is 4.